I will release one single every hour until my demands are met.
Hello and welcome to the EuroWhat, episode number 137 for the week of December 21st, 2021. I'm Ben Smith and I'm joined today by Mike McComb. Hey Mike.
Hello.
We are a pair of Americans trying to make sense of the Eurovision Song Contest, and this week we'll be catching up with the Eurovision Class of 2021. How's it going, Mike?
It's going well. I can't believe that we are at the end of December. How did that happen? Yeah. And how is there so much news in December? Like we've had to revise our planning document so many times in the last 2 weeks that it's like, there's too much stuff. Like,
I mean, on the plus side, when we're back in a couple of weeks, we're just going to have the slate picked out. We're just going to have to just take a much easier approach to re-reviewing things. It's just going to be done.
We're at 2 songs selected so far. By January 1st, I expect the other 39 to be ready to go. So
yeah, just everyone is very excited.
And so are we, if we're being honest. Mm-hmm. We do have our second song for next year's contest. Czech Republic held their online national selection over the last couple of weeks. And the winner of that are the band We Are Domi with the song Lights Off.
Where are you now when I missed you? You're sailing around in my peripheral. Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you
now? So We Are Domi are an electric pop band that originated from the UK, but they are now based in Prague. Ben, did you get a chance to listen to the entries or vote in the Czech process?
I both listened to all the entries and I voted in the Czech process. We Are Domi was up there for me. I ended up voting for what came in last place, the Valentine's Stay or Go, which had big 1975 vibes for me.
We Are Domi were in it for me too. They were in the 3 that I was considering. I did like the Valentines. They reminded me a little bit too much of Lake Malawi.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, not wanting to repeat yourself, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the entire slate, Czech Republic, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they were kind of spoiled for choice, and they had a lot of different options.
Going through all the songs was like getting a very solid mixtape from a friend.
This one was in my top 3 of either interesting or good choices. I think this one might have been the safest of the 3.
Rewatching the voting on this, it was kind of all over the place?
Yeah, there did not seem to be really any sort of consensus about any of the entries among the 3 different voting pools. So it was 50% jury vote, 25% Czech public vote, and 25% international public vote. You might have 2 out of the 3 agreeing on general placement of things, but there was not agreement across the board. There was no 10s across the board. So
I like the general idea of this one. I agree with you that it feels like a safe choice.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some fun electro stuff, but it feels like it could easily slot into a Spotify playlist where I'm not really paying attention.
Interesting.
Although I will say, the word peripheral just immediately yanks me out of absentmindedly vibing to this. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It just feels like a weird word to use.
I think that's going to be one of the interesting things about the process being so early this year is that they have a lot of time to fine tune things. And that was the interesting part about this year's online selection. They all did versions of what a live on tape performance could look like. And I think there were some interesting ideas with this one. They had the sort of violin guitar combo instrument thing or playing of the using a bow to play the guitar.
Playing a guitar bass with the bow of a string instrument. Yeah, so that's visually interesting. They've got some great miming of playing the keyboards going on. I like it, but it feels like a safer choice, which is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's the second song we've had. I need to see what the rest of the field ends up looking like to know how I feel about this one. Because right now I'm feeling very positive about it, but it also feels like it could be middle of the pack by the time we have all of the other 30-something songs to come.
True. But as of right now, it is in my top 2. So
yes,
I have made the video. So
I am uploading the video to YouTube, my top 2 for Eurovision 2022. The Netherlands also jumping on the announcement bandwagon. They are going to be sending S10, who is an art pop artist / rapper. In exciting news, they're going to be performing in Dutch next year.
Yeah, like that. It's been over 10 years since they've performed in Dutch. Yeah,
not since Ik Ben Verliefd.
Oh, your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite. Yes. Oh man, no. I was showing a friend. We were going back over the 2004 contest from Eurovision again, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the last time the Dutch were in the final until recently." Here's one of the things they sent. Knowing that my friend is also someone who is learning Dutch, I'm just like, they sent this, and it did not go well. Well, and also we talked about it recently, of that one being a process. One thing that's very fun about, speaking of learning Dutch, is that, so S10 is Stien den Hollander, and that's S and the Dutch word for 10. I get Dutch jokes now. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Well, it's more of, it's like I get Dutch wordplay now, which
yes.
As someone who enjoys wordplay makes me very happy.
Yes. Puns, we do love them. So,
and like, also I listened to the song that was provided in the press release for S10's announcement. I liked that as well. I'm very intrigued to see what the Netherlands does next year. The way that their process has changed is talking about their history in the contest. They're making interesting choices, and I really, really like seeing what they're doing.
Greece has also announced who their artist will be. They have selected Amanda Tenfjord, and if she sounds familiar, it's because Ben has mentioned her on the show before.
Yeah, I was blown away to see her get announced for Greece because I had seen her at Iceland Airwaves a couple years ago, and if you listen to our episode 66, about 27 minutes into that episode, I talk about how Amanda Tenfjord was doing a very interesting form of Nordic pop that I wanted to see in the competition, and we're going to get that next year for Greece.
Yay!
I did not realize she was a Greek-born artist, but she moved to Tenfjord in Norway. That's where she gets her stage name from, and she's going to be the Greek entry for next year. And in terms of performing bona fides, again, she's performed at festivals like Iceland Airwaves. Her most recent album was top 10 in Norway for a number of weeks, and Troubled Water, a song that I very much remember from her set, was featured in the Netflix series Spinning Out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, this field's already shaping up to be really interesting. And I don't know, the fact that we've already kind of got the jump on one of the artists.
Yeah,
that's so cool. So.
I mean, I'm just, like, I just find that trip so funny because like I was, who's going to be like the Icelandic entry that comes out of this? Mm-hmm. And Amanda Tenfjord representing Greece 2 years later, but also completely missing Dathi Frey's set that year.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No. I could have seen him beforehand. Anyways, the 2019 Iceland Airwaves, a surprisingly fertile ground for Eurovision representatives.
Excellent. Moving on to the processes. Lots of movement there in terms of logistics, and we love logistics on the EuroWhat. Mm-hmm. Lithuania has announced their lineup for Pabandom is Naujo. 36 artists will be competing over 6 weeks. So it'll be starting January 8th with 3 qualifying heats, 2 semifinals, and a final. So pretty much the same format that they've used the last couple of years. And this year's field includes 4 Eurovision alumnae.
Lots of other great names we have seen from past Pabandom is Naujos.
Lolita Zero, very excited about that.
I feel like that is the one that Twitter got very excited about, was like more Lolita Zero. Mm-hmm. Gibrasi is back, I believe. No Gabrielius Vangelis, who is taking a year off to figure out a fun new wardrobe thing to do.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. I want a statement hat.
Yeah. Well, he has to grow his hair out again.
Yeah.
He cut it last year, so like that takes time. So
and then also no Tusum, but oh well.
I don't know if you could have Tusum and Lolita Zero in the same year. Like that
yes,
that seems like too much. So
yeah, they did. Yes.
Yeah.
Boundaries. And then the details for Benidorm are sort of taking shape, and that's going to be a fun one to watch, I think. It's going to have 14 songs competing, including one by Azucar Moreno from 1990 among the competitors.
Yes, I'm very excited about this process. I'm hoping that this will turn Spain's fortunes around at Eurovision. I guess we'll know for certain on Thursday, because that's when the songs are dropping.
Exciting. An early Christmas present for us.
Yay. And then Australia Decides has completed its lineup for the most part. They have their 10 artists announced. But then they're also doing a wild card that is based on TikTok. So somebody will be able to submit an entry from TikTok and get selected to be like an 11th competitor wild card. We'll see how that goes.
The part of me that is like just thinking of who am I aware of who's doing very hot on TikTok in Australia right now, and I'm just like, send Tommy Cardy, make Tommy Cardy write a Eurovision song. If they want to do like a comedy entry, I feel like he would do a fun one.
It feels like it's early in Australia's tenure to do something like that, but I don't know, like it could work. And then performing at Australia Decides will be Keino. They are going to be going on tour in Australia in February and early March, I believe. And yeah, so they will be the guest performer during the interval. So
like as long as they're in town.
Exactly. Yeah, they have a huge following in Australia, so go where the following is.
And then Festivali Këngës is here. Well, not here, it's here next week.
Yes.
All 20 acts perform on Monday. Tuesday will be a retrospective looking back at 60 years of Festivali Këngës. If you'd like to celebrate, why not celebrate by listening to episode 99 of our show, where we talk about its very intriguing history.
Hopefully it won't be getting like too into the weeds of that, because man, it gets a little dark. But
yeah, they're probably going to have some fun montages that skip over other parts of things.
Yeah,
and then the final will be on Wednesday, and we will have a third entry. Or on the other hand, given the schedule, we'll have a 17th entry.
You know, if everything is selected by, well, we know that some of the processes are going to go into March, but if we have like more than half done before 2022 actually starts, that might not be the worst thing. But so since there is a ton of stuff that is happening in the coming weeks, and you may want to watch some of it, we have a calendar, our EuroWhat's On calendar, that you can find at eurowhat.com/watch. There's also information there about how to watch these various shows. You shouldn't need to go on the dark web. You probably won't need a VPN. A lot of these are on publicly accessible websites. But yeah, check it out. And you can add that calendar to your personal calendar. It's a Google Calendar. It's super, super handy. Be sure to check that out.
If you have an Apple TV, you can download so many apps for your Apple TV and just click over to Europe every week. It's great. In other Eurovision news, they found a clip from 1964. I had not realized that 1964 was considered a lost year, but we have found a clip. Someone has posted it on Reddit, and it is the winner performing the reprise of Non Oleta. Yeah,
it was a really well-preserved clip, I thought. Was posted by a Reddit user, DYLCWS. And yeah, apparently this user had been contacting all of the broadcasters that had participated in that contest to try to track down any sort of footage. And yeah, the Finnish broadcaster, YLE, they unearthed it somewhere and got it digitized and on the interwebs.
The history of early television is so interesting because we thought it was going to be a very ephemeral thing, so we didn't save a lot of stuff.
Yeah, or like a lot of stuff just got taped over. As someone who studied television history, it's just like, oh, that's so painful to just think that all of that material is just does not exist anymore. But yeah, just finding the little bits and pieces, and especially like now that we're in this era of Eurovision again, and like some of those Eurovision agains have been assembled by like taking, oh, well, Norway had a little bit of this and the BBC had a little bit of that, and combining it into a single production. It's like, wow, like this is, preserve your archives, folks. So
yes. Oh yeah. And then, it's time for our favorite new check-in, which I've come up with a fun new name. Italians, cover your ears. Hey, Cosa facendo Måneskin.
I think
what
that
are
sounds
our friends?
Good. I think Duolingo would give you a thumbs up on that one.
I feel like I would get the green check mark.
Sorry, Bradley.
But just like, what are our friends in Måneskin up to this week?
They've got quite a bit going on with the end of the year. A lot of guest performances. Beggin was it Beggin or was it I Want to Be Your Slave? NME, the music publisher, included Måneskin on their 50 best songs of 2021.
I Want to Be Your Slave.
Yeah. Which also got nominated for a Brit Award, which is like a pretty big deal. Måneskin were nominated for International Group of the Year, along with ABBA. So 40% Eurovision representation there. That's impressive. And then International Song of the Year for I Want to Be Your Slave. They are one of 15 nominees.
This coming Brit Awards is going to be different because they got rid of all of the gendered categories. The main thing I remember about that is Brian May of Queen rising up to just say a thing that he didn't have to say.
Yeah, but
yeah, but yeah, 15 nominees, so big field there. But yeah, like they're doing stuff.
Yes, and in terms of guest performances, they were at the YouTube Streamy Awards, kind of a hooey event. It sounds like, but they will also be performing on New Year's Rockin' Eve, which is definitely a hooey event. So are they Who's now? I don't know.
Now? Yeah, the jury is out. We have called the Who Weekly Hotline. We will report back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but it's a pretty impressive lineup, and yeah, they just keep getting these like national like broadcasts, at least here in the U.S. So yeah, they're having a good year.
They're having a very good year.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter that they were kind of posting a summary of like all of the cool stuff that they've been able to do. And like, they are just, I don't know, they're such good kids. I'm so happy for them. So.
Yeah. And like with that in mind, it felt like a nice time to, like, we've spent sort of our second half of the year talking about various Eurovision topics. So it's like a nice time to sort of circle back and see how everybody's year has gone, fire up Pachelbel's Canon in D, and pass out some diplomas, as it were. Yeah, doing that part of like the end of an 80s action movie where you have like a slow pan over the crowd, freeze framing on each person and finding out what happened to them.
Yes, yeah. Or like at the end of Bake Off where it's just like, oh, they all got together and had a picnic.
Yes, there we go. That's the metaphor. It's just like the end of Bake Off.
We'll just kind of go through the running order as it existed on the show. So kicking off with the first semifinal. The group, they've released some new music, and there was a lot of speculation on whether they were going to be part of the next series of Pabandom is Naujo. And they posted on their website that they wanted to share some of our experience with new participants. It's not only the song that matters here, but also the way you present it. The image must match the music. It can be a simple piece of clothing with a messy pigtail, or lots of dancing, or fireworks. Don't jumble everything together. Just feel what you want to say and stay on that path. Don't think about it being Eurovision-ish. There's no such standard anymore. Eurovision is not a goal, but a wonderful beginning. So don't let your hands down no matter how you are doing. So yeah, I think that's some really good advice for next year's representative, not just for Lithuania, but for everybody at Eurovision. Slovenia Anna Soklic, she performed at Slovenian Week in Brussels last month, which was an EU-sponsored event celebrating the 30th anniversary of Slovenia's independence. And Maniza from Russia created a performance for the Meduza Festival, which was in support of independent media in Russia. So definitely staying on brand.
Yes, very on brand for her.
Yes.
So Sweden, Tusa has released a couple of singles. He's still modeling for H&M, and he recorded the Swedish version of Disney's Love Runs Deeper ad for Christmas this year. Montaigne from Australia, I think most notably, has the new theme song for My Brother and Me, which is fantastic. And that happened before Eurovision this year. It's like that debuted, and now there's like a full version of the song, which is very fun. And like, she's definitely leaned in on like the internet sort of things, which I think that was what really appealed to me about her as a performer. Speaking of Tommy Carty, who I mentioned earlier, she did a song with him that was a lot of fun. And then she also compiled a list of the funniest clips she's seen on the internet for The Guardian. And then Vasil from North Macedonia performed at Pride in Bulgaria. Woo! Yeah, and was part of the creative team for Bulgaria's junior Eurovision entry.
Ireland, Leslie Roy has been on tour with Boys Life, which is a supergroup of one of the guys from Boyzone and one of the guys from Westlife. And yeah, they've been on tour across the UK and Ireland. From Cyprus, Elena Tsagrinou, she signed a global record deal with Sony, and she was a contestant on Greece's version of Dancing with the Stars. And unfortunately, she got knocked out in week 5.
No mention of how her relationship with El Diablo is doing.
No, I could not find anything in that particular Google search. So, Tix, from Norway, he released 2 singles that went to number 1 and number 3 on the Norwegian charts. So he's doing fine. And he also wrote a children's book based on the story behind Fallen Angel. So I think that's a pretty cool cross-promo opportunity.
Yeah. In Croatia, Albina's follow-up single reached number 2. Very exciting. Hooverphonic in Belgium are on tour in support of their 25th anniversary as a group. And Ian Naleen will be doing a gig with Netta at the end of the month for Israel.
ROCKIN from Romania came out as non-binary on TikTok over the summer. So congratulations to them. Effendi, we weren't really able to find anything. I presume she's still performing. Her Instagram had a lot of kind of Instagram influencer type posts, including an ad for an energy drink. She seems fine. So
she seems fine. She's doing the influencer thing. We love it.
Yes. Goa from Ukraine. They had some success on the Billboard charts right after Eurovision. Shum reached number 80 on the global excluding US singles chart and was the first Ukrainian language song to do that. So congratulations there. They also hit number 27 on the Hot Dance Electronic chart and number 12 on Dance Electronic Digital Song Sales. They're trying to tour. They're just running into a lot of snags with the way that we're all hitting snags with travel and live performances right now. Still waiting for them to show up in my Chicago Google alerts.
I was about to say, Mike, the second you find out about Chicago tour dates for Goa, you were to let me know. To close out semifinal 1, Malta. This one is less about Destiny and more about Malta, is that the Maltese broadcaster has been cleared of allegations of misappropriating funds in support of their entry.
Yay!
Hooray! We looked through that paperwork. It's fine. We look forward to seeing what they do next year. Okay, so let's talk about semifinal 2. Celine is having a real good year for San Marino. Like, she got a remix with Steve Aoki of Adrenalina. You heard Adrenalina in your gym.
Yep. My husband heard it first and he was like, oh yeah, did you hear it in the mix today? It's like, oh no, we were listening to a different mix. But yeah, about a week and a half ago, I was having a really good workout, but we still have local mask mandates, so nobody was able to see me sing along. So
And then there's also been like a viral campaign to get her to host Eurovision 2022, which I feel like that's the wrong goal. She should be hosting the green room.
Yes. If she is next year's Nikki Tutorials, if Nikki Tutorials is not available to do it next year, I think Sunit would be a fine substitute.
Sunit would be great. Like,
yes.
Just let Sunit, give Sunit a microphone, let her ask questions.
Yes.
And then Estonia, Ukasiviste, hosted one of the Estee Lauder quarterfinals and appeared in the video for one of the entries. So he's doing fine.
I wasn't worried about him.
No. He's going to be fine.
Yeah. In the Czech Republic, Benny Christo, he recorded the Czech version of Disney's Love Runs Deeper Christmas ad, which I guess is a thing. Like, it was at least presented as like, oh yeah, it's Disney's Christmas ad. It's like, okay. So, but it's for a fundraiser single. I think it benefits the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. In Greece, Stefania, she performed at Mad Walk, which is a major annual fashion music show. So like that's a pretty big gig. So congratulations on that.
She performed her new single Between Two Pairs of Swatches.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Vincent Bueno from Austria. He is part of an Austrian production of Miss Saigon. So going back into theater, which is what he was doing prior to Eurovision.
Me in Greece.
Yep.
Well, specifically Vincent Bueno in Greece.
Yes. And then Rafal, Poland, still doing the hosting thing.
He'll be fine. He's Polish Ryan Seacrest. He doesn't say no to a gig.
Nope.
Moldova, Natalia Gordienko has released High Heels and seems to be moving into that Real Housewives music single lane, which honestly, like that's there's a market for that. Get that money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, has Philip Kirkorov moved on to whoever his protege is for next year?
He's been announcing plans. The press release also makes it sound like threats. So.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, by plans, do you mean threats? Because,
I will release one single every hour until my demands are met.
Iceland, Dathi Freyr is having a heck of a year. He and his wife had their second child. He's working on an album for 2022. He did a live stream for the launch of Psychonauts 2, which is very exciting. And he has a sold-out U.S. tour happening in March, assuming we are allowed to go outside in March.
Yeah.
I would like to use those tickets, especially because his UK tour looked like a lot of fun, and he had Heights as his opening act, and they were inadvertently my top song on Spotify this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that one snuck up on me, but I did listen to it a lot, and I'm still I'm holding that hope because that would be a great twofer.
Yeah.
And then Serbia's Hurricane, the security certificate on your website is out of date as of 16 days ago as we are recording. You should really have your web host look into that. I assume this is for international security reasons, that you're doing busy spy things, which is why you haven't done it, but also you should look into that. It's serious.
Yeah.
The EuroWhat, we care about your web infrastructure.
Yes, so the next three participants, Georgia's Tornike Kipiani, Albania's Angela Peristeri, and Portugal's Black Mamba, we weren't able to find anything. I presume they're doing stuff.
I assume they're fine. Tornike hasn't posted anything on Instagram since the contest. Angela was posting some stuff in support of their junior Eurovision entry, Go Albania, Albanians supporting Albanians.
Yeah, and I think Black Mamba's just been touring, doing
They're doing real music,
so,
Mike.
I guess, yes. So everybody's working, you know. Victoria from Bulgaria, she won season 3 of The Masked Singer. Her costume was Miss.
I have not actually watched the video just because I'm kind of burnt out on Masked Singer. Am I going to regret clicking this link?
No, it's not a creepy costume. It's just, I'm not sure what Miss is supposed to mean, but, yeah, I mean, she's having fun with it. Really good performance. I believe this one is Purple Rain that I have linked in the notes.
Yes, it is. Which, okay, yeah, no, the costume is just sort of abstract.
Yeah, abstract lady. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, congratulations on that. Finland's Blind Channel, their 4th studio album is due out in the spring. And, they did a little bit of business on the rock charts, and yeah, they're totally going to be fine. So,
yes, with Latvia, the queen of the Instagram sponsorships is coming. She's getting so many Instagram sponsorship dollars. Like, she is living her best life. She is doing posts for Magnum ice cream, various nutritional supplements that I question just because it's Instagram. But she's also the spokesperson for Roomba of Latvia and recently posted a beautiful photo next to her Christmas tree in green velvet pajamas with not one, but 2 Roombas.
I love that photo so much. Right now, it is my lock screen on my phone.
It's just, she's living her best life. She's holding one of the Roombas, or possibly a third Roomba. I don't know.
It's very festive.
Is there a Real Housewives of Riga? Because she should be on it.
What do you think her tagline would be?
Something with still breathing, and then just... The clip is her just, like, twirling in one of the fringe outfits.
I'm still breathing, but you are gagging. I don't watch Real Housewives, so I have no idea.
Neither do I. That's why that was... I'm just sort of culturally aware of it as a program.
Mm-hmm.
Of just, like... Just the concept of throwing wine.
Yeah.
That's what she should sponsor next. Is just like the Samantha Tina brand of Latvian throwing wine.
Oh yeah.
When you want to throw the best.
Yeah. Connect with Mans. Like he's got his wine line going. Surely there's like a rosé that they can collab on.
Well, yes, and like also like celebrity branded alcohol. Like it's so quick to make.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the easiest branding opportunity. Everybody get on this.
Yeah. We're just giving these ideas away for free.
Coming to you in 2022. EuroWhat Cabernet.
There we go. Yeah.
Switzerland. John's Tears won Best Swiss Artist at the MTV Europe Awards. where I see something like that and I'm like, is that sort of like the MTV Europe Awards? Is that like one of the non-televised ones where like there's a bunch of the Grammys that happen at like 2 p.m.?
Oh, no, this one's a big deal. Usually the people who design the stage for the MTVs, like they also design Eurovision stage. Like it is a major event.
Yes. And then he competed on The Voice All-Stars in France. And then Denmark's Fire og Flamme released their debut album in August, and it reached number 1 in Denmark. I have listened to that a bunch. I enjoyed it. If you like their song from Eurovision this year, you will like the album. It's just very 80s inflected pop.
We're now into the auto qualifiers. So France, Barbara Pravi, her debut album reached number 6 on the French charts. And she did not compete recently. She performed recently at the Junior Eurovision Song Contest, and gave a really good performance of Voila. Germany's Jendrik, he had kind of a rough go after Eurovision. Did not handle the null point all that well, and checking out his Instagram, has just kind of done a lot of self-reflection, and it's just kind of working on stuff right now. I'm hopeful to see what comes next. For Italy, Måneskin, they're doing okay. We've already discussed. So.
They're going to be fine. Let's see. So Spain, Blas Canto, I am happy to report as we record, is still the number 1 Blas according to famousbirthdays.com.
Woo!
Just for the record, there are other Blases on famousbirthdays.com. Blas Perez, the soccer player, is number 2. For the UK, James Newman, he's still writing songs. He's having a great time. He's doing a Wim Hof breathing course, which, if you watch the video for My Last Breath, that's the breathing guy from that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I thought that was super interesting when I was looking to what's James Newman doing this year. But no, he's having a great time. He's a songwriter. He's doing he's practicing his craft.
Excellent.
And then Django is releasing singles and touring in the Netherlands as well. So like he's having a great time. That is the end of the class of 2021. We have gotten through all the names. Everyone has received their diplomas.
Everybody's throwing their mortarboards up in
throwing
the
their
air.
mortarboards in the air.
So that was 2021. What a weird year. But
yes.
I think we were still able to find a lot of delight in it, despite the challenging circumstances. And I'm very excited for what 2022 is going to look like.
Yeah, it feels like Europe is excited in general. And like, I don't know if it was just something with this year's contest that sort of like relit a fire, but like, it just feels like everybody's very excited about the state of Eurovision and the state of European pop.
There's going to be so much to be excited about over the next few months.
Yes. But first we're going to take a couple weeks of rest and come back refreshed and renewed. And then we will look at like all 32 wonderful entries that will have been announced since we left.
It's going to be a busy spring, but I think we're up for the challenge.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the EuroWhat. Thanks for listening. The EuroWhat podcast is hosted by Ben Smith, that's me, and Mike McComb.
That's me. Show notes are in the description of this episode and on our website at EuroWhat.com. If you'd like to contact us, we're at EuroWhat on Twitter, or you can email EuroWhatPodcast@gmail.com.
You can follow the EuroWhat on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcast app of your choice. If you'd like to support the show, we are also on Patreon at patreon.com/EuroWhat.
The EuroWhat will be back the week of January 3rd with weekly episodes as we try to make sense of everything that's happening with Eurovision 2022. Have a safe and happy New Year.